All right, how's it going? It is Thursday, July 27th, and yesterday was FOMC interest rate decision. They hiked by 0.25%, which was expected. Um, we had an initial rally up, then we kind of dropped down to near the opening price of where we opened, and then I think we bounced from there. And I looked briefly, and we have absolutely skyrocketed in the after hours. So looking at the daily chart here, since we are kind of in unprecedented territory, at least in the past year or so, I am looking back at the chart, going back in time to find some levels here. One that really stands out to me is this here. We have that 458 level. You can see that we rejected above it, broke above it, support, came down, support, kind of had some price action around it, support, broke below it, above it again, support, support, rejection, rejection, rejection. So that's a big level that I'm watching. I'm also looking somewhere up in that range, so around the 470 area. You can see kind of that channel that we formed. I'm just gonna put a few in here just because we have the high, which is around 480. I'm not expecting us to reach that, but it doesn't hurt to mark it. Yeah, I think in terms of where we are right now, those are the levels I'm watching as far as like bigger overall levels. As always, mark the high and low of, whoa, hey there. Excuse me. What just happened? Why did we get that going on? All right, chill out there, brother. All right, as always, mark the high and the low of yesterday's trading session. I might adjust these on the hourly chart to get it a little bit more precise here. This just to help me with understanding if we're breaking out of a range or staying within a range. Kind of gives you a little bit of idea of whether we'll have some horizontal choppy movement or maybe more of a trending, whether that be up or down. So that's where we're at. You see we had a big move up. We kind of pulled back, consolidated, and we're starting to move up from there. And especially once we go into this hourly chart and see what we've been doing since the after hours. We have ripped. We have set a new high. We're at almost 460. So I need to adjust this a little bit so we can see. I don't have a ton of levels in this area. I think I actually may go back to the 1 hour chart, or sorry, the 1 day chart. We do have this area here that I am going to pay attention to, and that is about 462. That was a recent high. And you can see it was support back here as well. So maybe I'll extend that out so we can kind of see the historical importance of it. So a bit of support here, support here. You know, you can see we've bounced off it a few times as support. We broke below it. It's acted as resistance since then. And we're a few dollars away from it now. We're approaching that as we're about $2 below. Looking to open probably somewhere around 460. So if I'm looking at this chart and I'm looking for trade ideas today, we've been in an uptrend. We've been uptrending. We had some horizontal chop, excuse me. We've had some chop between that 455, 452 area. I won't keep them on here because I don't think they'll be relevant for today, but you can kind of see that we've been in this range here. So we've been kind of bouncing around in here. We've broken out, and we have broken out of yesterday's high of day, which was set during the FOMC data release. And now we've ripped. So we have a pre-market high here. Let's worth noting. We have a pre-market high right there, just 455.5. Honestly, it's hard not to be looking to the upside here. We've had tremendous strength. We've had an insane rally of about $5 or so in the aftermarket from yesterday's session. What time do we have here? We have about 7 minutes left, so not in any risk of missing the open. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. If I'm looking for an entry, I would say typically what I'm going to look for is a break above the pre-market high and a retest, and look for calls to the upside, with the assumption that we might reach maybe that 462 if we show continued strength. If we show weakness and an inability to break the pre-market high, we might pull back down to this 458, 457.86. So somewhere in this range in here, like somewhere in there between these two, I might look for a bounce in here. If we pull back, I think calls in this area. As you can see, we had a run up, a little bit of a consolidation, and then a run up from there. We had a big level on the daily chart at this 458-ish level, so I would not be surprised to see us retest this. Especially with this opening so much higher, there might be some profit taking in the morning. So pulling back into this level for a bounce. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking for either a break above 460 and a retest, or maybe 459.57, this pre-market high. So a break above, retest, continuation, or a potential pullback into this area for a bounce and continuation up. That's what I'm looking for. Nothing too crazy. I think it would be a little risky to try to fade the strength that we've been showing lately. We're in a bull market. Things go up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. If we come up and we retest this, we show some weakness, I might gamble around, and I say gamble lightly, but I might play around with maybe like a single put and see if we can get that back down into this region. You can see that we rejected pretty heavily off of it in the pre-market. We're having like a little bit of a doji candle here. So if we show some exhaustion getting up to this pre-market and retesting this and failing to break above it, you could potentially take a put. I would not think that we're going to drown. I would not think that we're going to downtrend today. So it would be more of a scalp. Maybe take like a 459 and just look for coming down into that level. As soon as that becomes in the money, that premium would preferably move pretty nice, and you could get a little scalp off that. So, there are trades to look for both ways. Typically you want to trade with the trend, so that's something to think about. And boy, have we been trending. If we're looking at a 5-minute chart here, we came up, we rejected, we kind of formed this little wedge here, or like this channel, and we've broken out of that officially. So I would say I'm expecting us to possibly bounce from somewhere down in this area. Or if we open up strong, then we could see a break above. But that's what I'm looking for. Nothing too crazy, nothing too groundbreaking here. Just looking to see if we continue an uptrend, entering calls on a lower high, and seeing if we can get that continuation and ride this thing up. We've had the past couple days have been a little choppy because of FOMC. So I'm excited to trade a day like today, where hopefully we might get some trend, and you can just trade with the trend and make things easy on yourself. That being said, I am going to check the market watch. So today's Thursday, July 27th. We had a ton of stuff come out this morning. And we have one item of data coming out 8 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. and that is the pending home sales. I don't expect that to be much of a moving event in terms of price or volatility here on SPY, but that is something to consider. Otherwise, we had a ton of stuff come out this morning around 6:30 my time, 8:30 Eastern Standard, like jobless claims, durable good orders, GDP advanced report, U.S. trade balance and goods, retail inventories, wholesale inventories. So, excuse my voice. We did have some data come out this morning, and that may have prompted some of this rally. It was around 8:30, so that'd be around 6:30. So somewhere in here, and you can see we did have a pretty big rally off that. So the data that dropped this morning did have some sort of impact. Like I said, we have pending home sales, I believe is what it was, coming out 30 minutes after open. Don't expect that to be a huge mover, but you never know. That being said, ooh, I forgot my coffee this morning. And we have a minute and a half, which is not enough time for me to really go and grab that, which is a bummer. Trading next day options. What am I looking at here? So probably 459 calls. Tomorrow's expiration. If I'm looking at puts, I'll probably do 459 as well in the event that we come up and retest and fill. Like I said, ideally we trend today, and you just get to trade the trend and ride the trend. All in all, we open in a little under a minute, so we will see where things go. I'm gonna throw on a little bit of lo-fi for us here. All right, my friends, 20 seconds. I'm gonna get another sip of water. It is Thursday, almost the weekend again. Crazy how time flies. So we are having a bit of a pullback here off the open. Like I said, I'm really looking for potential bounce in this area. I'd love to see that. And if we do have that, I'm going for 459 calls for a potential retest of the high of the pre-market. So patience is the name of the game. Just see if we can get this to play out. We might not make it down here. We do have some kind of pre-market support, an area that we bounced off of in here. So that is maybe an area to watch as well. We might not make it all the way down here. Potentially like potentially somewhere like in here, that kind of upper range that was resistance that we broke above. I'd probably look for maybe a bounce off this area, just because we've already bounced down here quite a few times in the pre-market and broken above that. This is kind of like the most recent high that we could pull back and retest. Looks like we're kind of bouncing off of that little swing low here before that big move up. So it looks like we might be bouncing off this area right in here. We might not pull back into this zone that I was looking for, which is fine. You know, if we rally up, that next kind of trade idea that I have is a break above pre-market high and a pullback and retest of that area. So if you caught the bounce off here, it's moving pretty nice for you already. You know, like a 10% or over a 10% swing or so. But yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. Once this starts moving above 459, this premium zone move real nice. So yeah, you're gonna see this explode. Yeah, once we start pushing up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think I had my excuse me, my throat has been a little I don't know, stuffy in the morning. But I think I was looking for a pullback too deep into a range that we had already pulled back into. So bouncing off kind of this area that we briefly bounced off in the pre-market, that makes sense. Pre-market levels do matter. Pay attention to them because they often play a part throughout the trading day. And yeah, this premium, like I said, it's moving real nice now that we're above 459. Coming up here to retest the high of the pre-market. I'm not too keen on trying to take puts. If we come up and fail to push above on this candle, maybe retest again on another. If we show a little bit of continued like consolidation and weakness up here, that is something that I'll consider. But not too quick to get into puts up here. We've been showing some serious strength, so I'd like to keep things trendy. This I think this music is quite loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. There we go. All right, so kind of retesting that high again. Ooh, and a very quick rejection off of it. So we rejected, and we're kind of really bouncing around the opening print right at 459 on the dot. Looks like we do have some buyers stepping in at that level, pushing price back up a little bit. I think today I'm just gonna sit and wait for the first, 10, 15 minutes or so, see how things start to play out. I'd really like to see us continue an uptrend and just take a call on a higher low. But yep, nothing to do right now. Just watching. Yesterday's FOMC was crazy. I actually had levels to where the top was pretty much well, it respected the high and the low of 2 days ago. I suppose that would be Tuesday's trading range, to where the high of yesterday was almost identical to Tuesday's high, and the low was almost identical to Tuesday's low. So like the high of that swing was pretty much the two levels that were marked out. So excellent opportunities there if you caught those. I was working, unfortunately, but another day, another trade. There's always an opportunity in the market. That would have been an excellent one. Get a crazy return as you get some serious volatility during those events. But yeah, looking to get those base hits, just stack up solid wins, minimize losses, and see how far we can take it. But kind of getting some consolidation here near the opening print. There's definitely some buying coming in. But as we came up and pushed up and had the big kind of a medium or immediate increase in volume and selling off in this area, it makes me think that breaking this pre-market high will require a bit of momentum to do so. About 30 seconds left in this candle. Looks like we're closing. You see volume coming in. Looks like we're closing pretty strong. Well, as I say that, we start to pull back. Either way, we showed some resistance to fall below the opening print. Kind of bounced right off that area, that 459 area. Something I love to see, we're getting more volume. You can see the opening volume for yesterday leading into the FOMC was super low across the board. We already have pretty much like the average volume of yesterday in the first, 12 minutes or so of the trading day. So that's a good sign. Things might be a little more normal, less choppy today. Pushing up again. Retesting that high a day. Looking to break high a day and kind of retest that pre-market high here. See if we do. There's definitely some resistance up there. I think you could scalp puts off this area for sure. I wouldn't be looking to hold them long term, as we, like I said, showed a lot of strength recently to the upside. But there is some selling happening up here. I think you could at least scalp it for a quick 50-cent drop or so. If you took it up here, sold it down around 459, that would probably present a nice, 20% trade or so. Nothing crazy, but certainly nothing to laugh at. And we'll see if that opportunity presents itself here. I guess you could consider that we already sort of had it here on that opening wick as we touched it, and then the following candle we came down was slightly below 459. So perhaps that was the scalp opportunity. But we'll see. There's definitely some resistance up here as you see us struggling to break above, and anytime we come up into the area, we do encounter some selling. So
Oh man, it's a beautiful sunny day. We're getting a little bit of selling here. Yeah, we wicked right down to that 459 again. So I think that's kind of the scalp that I was referring to. It may have happened prior to us retesting that pre-market high. I'm not sure how many times we're on bounce off this. If we continue to show strength and push upwards, I may not take that trade since we've already kind of had some selling happening up in that area. I'm not too sure how extensive our selling will be in that area. If we continue to kind of have these little mini pullbacks and bounce right back up, that definitely shows, as you see here, that shows that buyers are stepping in. So you can also see the options. The premium isn't moving too spectacularly down here. On that spike down, we maybe gained, what did we get, 114, about $12 or something, so like under 10%. I was thinking if we got to move from here down to here, it might be on the order of like 10 to 20. So like I said, not sure I'm gonna hop into a put up here. I think I might just try to let a trend develop and see what we can do off that. A lot of green in the market today. Apple's up at almost 200, 197. That's crazy. Looks like Microsoft recovered a little bit from the sell-off from post-earnings. QuantumScape is almost $12. Holy shit. QuantumScape's one that I've been watching. It's a solid-state lithium battery company working with some EVs. Solid-state lithium batteries have been kind of a hype term in terms of future tech for improving battery longevity, efficiency, power output, storage potential, etc. So same with this one here, Solid Power. It's another one to watch with. They have partnerships with Ford and BMW, I believe. I think both of these companies are supposed to be developing or releasing some sort of prototype or initial product later this year. So if you think EVs are going to be big, if you think battery technology is an area of innovation and potential investment returns, QuantumScape and Solid Power are two companies I'd definitely check out. SMR is an interesting one. That's a, what is it, small modular reactor, something like that, working with nuclear energy and creating small portable nuclear reactors that could be assembled and then transported to the site. It's super interesting technology. That stock isn't taken off. It's kind of been chilling down that $7-6 range. As are these. I mean, QuantumScape recently exploded. That was like $5 or $6 not that long ago. Anyways, looking at its chart here, we're definitely getting some chop up at this level. Some indecision, as you see. We're kind of forming these super small candle bodies, longer wicks. I want to see us break one way or the other before I take a trade. This is kind of option trading hell, as you see. We just are chopping around. Theta is working against you in this case. So no trade to be taken at the current moment. You even see we're forming like this little, like a little bit of like a wedge here. And almost on cue, start breaking out. If we come back up and retest, that might be a position to take there. That's actually very similar to a trade you could have taken on FOMC. We had that huge run up, and then we started to kind of wedge around like this. And then we broke to the downside and retested, and shortly after we fell like $4. So when you see this tight consolidation, kind of like this coiling of price, and then a break in either one direction to the up or to the down, you generally look for a break and then a retest of that area for continuation in the move of the original break. That's a I don't know if you'd call it a pattern necessarily, but just kind of something that happens often when you have this like tight consolidation of a price, and then when you finally get a break in one direction, you typically can get an entry on a retest and look for continuation. So we have broke below the opening print of the day. Certainly something to watch. About 30 seconds left on this candle here. We'll see if we can close outside of this little wedge. And then look for a potential push back up and see if we can't get a retest. If we do have that condition, I will most likely look to enter. But we'll see. It kind of depends on how this candle closes. Because we have now pulled back up above 459, up above that opening print. And we've shown a reluctance to kind of break below and close below that opening print. So certainly something to watch here. If we do break, my watch for a bounce in this area down here is pretty much what I'm playing. So we might not get the retest exactly. Definitely some real buying coming in at this 459 area. Struggling to kind of break below it. As you can see, we dip below it and then get pulled back up pretty immediately. So still no trades taken. Nothing really standing out to me. Chipotle down. That might be something to watch for in terms of a longer term investment. I haven't paid any attention to Chipotle, but let's give it a look. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Holy shoot. Oh, okay. They might be. Wait, what the hell? What type of prices are these? Crazy stuff. Alright, so we are bouncing off that 459 level. We're kind of coming up and retesting this. I'm not taking puts there. Our inability to break and close below the opening print has showed some serious strength in terms of buying under that 459 level. That just pushed us back up every time we've dipped below it. We've shown a lot of strength. Like I said, I'm not too keen on looking for puts. You could for a quick scalp. Like I said, if we failed to break above this pre-market high, you could potentially scalp down to this opening print level, which we kind of got in here. I might remove these. I don't think those are what's going on here, brother. I don't think those are too necessary. Oh, what is going on? Why is it not letting me do this? What in the world is going on? There we go. All right. So that could have been a potential retest of that trend line and a break below. We'll see. If we break below this 459, we could see continuation down. But it's going to need to be a convincing break. You can see that it's been a struggle to break that. So not only is it the opening print, but it is that whole psychological number, and it's acting as a strong support so far. A bit of an uneventful 30 minutes or so in the opening. We've kind of just, we've held less than a 50-cent range. So my my theory that we would get out of this choppy price action and have a trending day might have been a little early to that conclusion, but we'll see. So here you go. We're getting a little bit of a break. As I've said before, I would not mind a pull back into this area for a bounce. I would not mind that at all. So we are breaking lower. I suppose you could have taken puts on the retest of that trend. It's working out pretty nicely. You can see we've had about like a 30% or so return. My Siri just popped up on my phone. I was not talking to you. So it bounced off that low that we set off the opening candle. Buying is strong in this area. I would love to see us retest and then shoot back up to highs. If I could get a bounce down here and a return to high, that would make me a very happy camper. QuantumScape is 1250 now. I was looking, it was 11.7. It is boosting. There's probably some insiders know something. QuantumScape has been absolutely ripping lately. They're probably getting ready to deliver their prototype or first product, I'd assume. Because there's no news being released on it, but the price is certainly reflecting something crazy going on.
take a look. I just want to pop it up real quick. Oh shoot. Look at that. Something's going on, man. That shit ain't normal. It's consolidating down here around like $6, and it is just, pff, I mean, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. I'm gonna text my uncle about that actually. We were looking at those solid battery stocks. And once again, you can see that we dip below that 459 and we kind of get slurped right back up into that area. There are some serious buyers present. So kind of closing right at that level. Retested, falling. Still yet to set a new low. We did have a bit of higher volume on this. We did come down. That volume kind of sucked us back up. So there's buyers. I would really, 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 really appreciate a retest of this area. I don't know why I'm so hard set on that. I think it's just because you can see on the hourly and the 5-minute chart is kind of a resistance channel that we were in and then broke above. And we didn't really get a proper retest. I think if we came down and retested that 458.5 level, that would be a beautiful place for a bounce. We might not get it though. I mean, every time we kind of get close, we get pulled right back up. QuantumScape is now over $13. This thing is moving, man. I have one share of that stock. I bought it just to kind of track the price because it was kind of like more of like an experimental, kind of like a bet to see just what might happen with that emerging technology. Well, now I'm wishing I put my full port into it. Things over doubled in like the past month. It's crazy. And it's still going. Look at it, 13.2. This shit might hit $14 today. That's insanity, man. That's super wild. I think is it Toyota? I think they have some sort of EV partnership with a big car manufacturer as well. I know Solid Power is BMW and Ford has partnerships, which that's huge. I think QuantumScape has like Toyota or something. I know Toyota's been talking about solid state batteries, but has kind of failed to deliver anything as of yet. But maybe this is the change. Maybe QuantumScape did it. Yeah, this is brutal. Brutal to trade. A lot of chop. So a bit more of a body on this one. We're getting some volume rolling in. We got a little less than a minute left in this candle. Let's see if we can retest this area. I'm gonna get my clicker on the buy just so I don't miss it. We might not reach that area. Some buyers stepping in, some volume coming in. Pushing back down, closing a little lower. So we haven't really set a new low. We kind of retested the previous low and didn't break below it or close below it. We are coming down here. I'm getting ready to enter soon-ish, if we can test that 458.5. So I might enter one here and look to add another if we touch that level. So there we go. I'm gonna add another right here. I think my fill on that might have been a little janky because I got it right as we bounced. I am gonna put my stop somewhere. For both, I'm gonna put my stop. Where's the low of that? 108. So I'm gonna put my stop at 102 there. Try to give us enough room here for a bounce. There's some volume coming in, some selling. I'm not sure that we will get a bounce actually. So I got stopped out and we're continuing to go lower. So decent loss with two orders. Whoa, what's going on with that? There we go. So yeah, pretty big loss of $27 right off the bat. That's not great. Perhaps I entered a little too soon on that. It looks like we might find some support down here still, which I might re-enter. So I'm gonna re-enter here. Oh man. Entry at 107. We'll put the stop at 99-ish or 97. Yeah, I don't know if I should have re-entered that. That might have been a mistake there. There's some serious volume coming in on this. And we have not shown a ton of strength in terms of buying. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped out again probably right here. We'll see. I mean, that's a big volume candle. Probably not the greatest trade that I've taken. Looking for a bounce here. I still think that we probably will get some sort of bounce down here just based off the the amount of price action that we had pre-market in this level. So yeah, a break of that wedge and retest turned out to be a pretty good trade if you took it. Taking these trades and holding would have, or taking these puts up there and holding would have been nice. Looks like we might get a little bit of a bounce here. We're below this level, so I'm not sure if we'll really be able to push up above that. Yeah, it is a little concerning. It looks like a retest. I might have found myself entering that trade a little too preemptively and then entering again. But I do maintain that if you look on the hourly chart here, I think that this is still a valid level for bounces. I just don't know if this is the best time to take it here before we get like some great confirmation. That's probably going to stop me out. If we break any lower. All right. Really bad trading day so far for me. Damn. Should have taken puts up here. You live and you learn, but holy shit. Oh, it's one of my bigger losing days. That's not beautiful. I should not have re-entered immediately after getting stopped out. Yeah, that's a tough one. Looks like we may be getting a bounce off this level, is 458.
The only other the only other trade that I would consider taking is a retest of this opening print area, this 459. As you can see, it was super strong support, and then once we broke it, we really fell. If we do push up and come up into that range, I might look to take puts. That's a pretty big loss for me on the day, so I'm not really wanting to hop into another trade. If I take another loss, I'd be down way more than what I'd like to be on any given day. So kind of a shitty position. I had mentioned taking puts at a retest of that break of that wedge. I didn't. It played out perfectly. I don't know if I would have held through some of this price action. I would like to think that I would have. I'm not sure, but certainly don't win them all. Today is an excellent example. I got smoked, and it was impatient. I took a trade here, not mad about that, but once I got stopped out, I re-entered the same exact trade without really any confirmation. I think even waiting for this candle to bounce off this level and pull up would have given me a little bit more confidence. Not that I think that we're gonna rally from here. We're not showing a ton of strength. We got about a minute left in this candle. Volume's kind of coming in, but still pretty low. So yeah, I re-entered the trade too quickly. I got burnt and emotionally tried to re-enter for a turnaround in the fear that I had gotten stopped out right before the trade happened. So that was a bit of an emotional response down here. Not the greatest. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one to swallow, but it happened, and it will probably happen more than once in my trading career. Just gotta learn to be patient. I think missing a trade is better than taking a shitty trade and getting a loss or getting stopped out. So protecting your capital is the name of the game. I did not do that so far today. Like I said, I might look for a retest of this area if we push back up and then a continuation down. I don't know. I don't love it. It's getting close to the end of where I typically trade. Yeah, just not a great day overall for me. I was looking for a potential reject up here. We didn't quite reach it, so I never took it. We did reject. I said if we got to pull back into this area, I'd look for a bounce and continuation upwards. We did pull back into this area. Didn't really get the bounce I was looking for, and or slash I entered too early. So, yeah, that's a tough one. I'll make sure to review it and kind of try to understand. I mean, I can see that as we start selling off, you have volume increasing all the way up to this candle. Yeah, just not the greatest day for me. A little bit of a bummer, especially messing on FOMC yesterday, not really capturing much of that. And, I could have had a potential to set myself up nicely for the rest of this week. But this has pretty much set me back like 2-3 days in terms of profit. Well, I guess 2 days, but shit is rough. So you do see us bouncing around down here. That's twice that we've kind of touched that 458 level and bounced. It looks like volume's kind of slowing down in terms of the selling side.
So this is the bounce that I was kind of looking for. If we can push back up into this area, that's more of what I was expecting. I entered too soon and I got stopped out too soon. That's avoidable. That was a rookie mistake. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what I was looking for. Especially if we continue up. If we continue up into this area and we look weak continuing up into that area, I would look for puts again, but I'm not sure that we'll reach it. I was looking for a bounce down here. It looks like the upward momentum is not really there, so I'm not sure that we'll get much of a bounce there. I entered too early. I was looking for this zone in particular. I entered prior to it. Yeah, that's just nobody to blame but myself there. That was just bad trading. Might stick around a little longer than usual. It's hard accepting a loss, so there is part of me that wants to get a winning trade and kind of cut down on that. I know that that's not the greatest mentality to have. You get into revenge trading and you can lead yourself into bigger losses that way. But I also know that I was pretty, I guess, maybe careless or sloppy on my execution today, which led me to the losses that I have. Which is frustrating. You know, I know that I could have done better. So I might stick around. If a opportunity presents itself that I think is worth it, I might give it one more shot. Otherwise, I don't want to rush into any trades. I've already done that today and gotten bit. So we'll stick around here for a little bit longer. See if there's any sort of opportunities that present themselves that I like. Yeah, we're dropping. So it looks like we're in a trending day. I thought we'd trend up. We are trending down. Yeah. Yeah, if you got puts on that retest of that level, that would have been nice. Up like 30% already.
Damn, man. Puts were the play. I just missed out. Oh, that's frustrating. Crazy sell-off. These contracts are flying. Yeah. If we have a little pullback up into this area, I might look to get puts 457 and see if we can't follow down into this range. I don't want to chase this, but it is pretty obvious what's happening today. So we'll take a small entry there. We'll set our stop up in there, targeting a retest of yesterday's high, or a continuation down to yesterday's high. You see, we kind of have this support that I drew out on the daily chart. As I'm watching it on the hourly, it looks like we're kind of holding that support. So this may not be the best time to take puts. We might see a bit of a reversal bounce off this 450. Was that almost 458 level? So this could be another ill-advised trade that I just took here. Looking at a higher time frame. Whoa. I didn't mean to set my stop. I was trying to move the screen there. So I did get stopped out. We have had a tremendously bad day. We are down bad. Nothing more really to say. Yeah, it could work too soon, I think. Are you talking about the reversal here off this support, or are you talking about puts on the retest? I think puts on the retest was a little too soon for sure. Yeah, as I'm seeing this was a big level on the hourly chart, and if you look at the daily chart, and if you look at the hourly chart, we're sort of reclaiming that support. So, oh man, I'm done. I'm done trading for the day. I've just taken some ill-advised losses, down 60 bucks, 64. So here you can see we broke above that. We might come down and retest it. What we'd really need is a clearing of this level to determine if we're getting a trend shift and going to move upwards. But yeah, today was a bad day. I traded a little bit the opposite of patient. I was not patient enough. I was jumping into things. Yeah, I appreciate that. I've had a string of winning days, so you know it's coming eventually. I just hope to have prevented such a big loss, but I appreciate that. Try to take it always as a learning experience, and there's things to be learned. So I'll watch this play out for a little bit, but I'm gonna log off before too soon here. So yeah, we're retesting that kind of previous low, showing some resistance there. This probably would have been a much better entry on puts if I were to take that trade back that I took here and instead enter up here. That would have been probably a much more reasonable entry as we're retesting that previous low that we broke through. But yeah, you can see on the hourly chart we did find some level of support as we kind of reclaim that level. We might continue down still. Too early to say that we're going to get a reversal. I think we'd really have to clear this 458.5 level to kind of reverse this trend. So as of now, still in a downtrend, still setting higher lows, or sorry, excuse me, lower highs, lower lows. But I am curious to see if we push up from here and reverse or not. So we are seeing some strength into the closing of this candle. We got about 20 seconds left or so. So we are seeing some support at this level once again now that we broke back up above it. And we may have found a bottom here in terms of a reversal on the trend. I am gonna hop off though. I have to get to work. Not a great day for me. I was a little impatient on my entries, and that ended up costing me. Had I been a little bit more patient here, yes, I still would have got stopped out. But I could have controlled that loss and had risk management be a bit better. Overall, 3 trades, 3 losses, got stopped out on all of them. I will make a review video later and kind of look at what I did wrong and try to learn from this. As always, I trade Monday through Friday. I'll be here tomorrow. Appreciate anybody who stopped in and is watching. Says, I think we'll fill the gap back to market open in an over bull market and market sentiment feels strong. I know nothing and still favors trading, but love this stuff. Hey, yeah, right on. I wish you the best of luck. I am not surprised that we had a pullback. I thought with the amount of strength that we would probably have a pullback and then a continuation upwards. This pullback was more than I expected. I am still very much so learning. I'm no expert by any means. I appreciate you stopping in here, giving your thoughts. And yeah, keep doing your thing. Keep practicing with paper trading. I'd recommend getting comfortable with all this and then trading maybe like one contract at a time.
definitely changes things when you have money on the line. But appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day, and thanks for stopping in and giving your thoughts. I'll see you all tomorrow, and yeah, hope you have a great day. See you guys.